Guys, in this video we can see how to store data in Google Firestore Database using Flutter application. So Google's Firestore Database is also a persistent storage mechanism for storing mobile application data or web application data. So here in this video we are going to see how to store and retrieve data in Google Firestore Database. So we are going to use a Flutter application as a front end, and in back end we are going to use Google Cloud Firestore Database, and we are going to use Visual Studio Code for editing the program, and we are going to use Android platform for testing the application. So we are going to use Android virtual device. So we are going to create application for employee details management. We are going to store employee details like name, employee ID, salary details, and we are going to retrieve the data and we are going to display in the screen. So let us start by creating a Flutter project. So first we have to create a Flutter project. Let's open VS Code, and we have to go to command palette and select Flutter new project application and select the folder. Here we are going to create employee application. So let us give employee application, and now the project is created successfully. Now we have to create Google Cloud Firestore Database. For that we have to open Google, we have to go to Google Firestore Database, and there is a website called firebase.google.com, and just open this website, and the right side you can see go to console. So you have to click this go to console, and you will be getting a interface for creating Firebase application project. So here we can create a new Firebase project so that we can use that database, right? So we are going to create a new database project, a new Firebase project. So here we can name it as employee application. So let's give the employee application. And if you are getting this option, you have to click this, you can select this parent resource and continue. Now it may ask enable Google Analytics. You can just disable it, click create project. So now the project in Firebase is created successfully. You can click continue, and the you will be getting this project dashboard where you can add this particular Firebase application with our Flutter application. We can integrate together, right? So now this is an online application which contains database. That application we are going to connect with our Flutter application by using add app, and we have to select, we are going to try Android application, so we have to select Android, and here we have to give the name of the package in Android application is running, right? So we have to find this by using, in this project there is a folder called Android, and inside folder there is a file called build.grade. Not this one, you go to this app directory, there is a file called build.gradle, right? So here you can see namespace, right? So under this namespace automatically the package is created as com.example.employee_ application. Just you have to copy this, right click copy, and just go to this Firebase website and paste here, click register app. Right, so now we have to download this Google services.json file. You have to click and download, and it will be downloaded. And if there is any other file already existing, you have to delete this, and you have to just rename this as this one, just keep it google-services.json. This file is a configuration file which will connect our Flutter application with Firebase application project. So we have to go to this project, and inside this project, so there is an app folder, right? So here you can see app folder, right? Inside this folder we have to copy paste this particular file google-services.json. So just you have to drag and drop inside this app directory, so it will be coming like this. So now we got the configurations in JSON format. We can close this. Okay, next what we are going to do is we are going to go to the Firebase website and click next. So now when you click next, it will show some more configurations like add Firebase SDK. We have to add Firebase SDK, and there are two configuration like root level configuration and app level configuration. Okay, so let's see that configuration. The root level configuration is called project level configuration. So where we can do this configuration is inside this project. There are two Gradle file, build.gradle.kts, build.gradle.kts, right? So when you open this project, this particular Android folder, first you can see this one, right? So this is called project level Gradle settings. Okay, so inside we have to include one script called build script, repositories Google Maven Central, and there is a dependencies we have to include called class path com.google.gms, right? So this one we have to just copy and we have to paste inside this. Okay, so in the beginning itself we can copy paste, that's all. Okay, so we have to copy paste and we have to save this file, and next we have to go for this. We can close this. Next we have to go for this app level Gradle settings. Okay, we have to open this app level Gradle settings. So first thing is plugins. Okay, so we have to give the plugin. So plugin is actually available here. It is actually already available here. Okay, you can see this. Okay, so this one you can copy and you can paste it here. Okay, so this plugin is configured. And one more thing is when we are using this Google Cloud Firestore database, the NDK version should change. Okay, so we have to change the NDK versions. So this is a version we have to include. Okay, we have to set the NDK versions as 27.0. So as given in this procedure. Okay, so you can copy this, and also in the default config code section, minimum SDK level should be 23. Then only you can use Google Firestore database. Okay, so where it is available, you have to go to the scroll down. You can see default config and min SDK. Okay, so this one you have to delete this default one and we have to use 23. Okay, so this is another configuration you have to make. Finally we have to make this. We have to include this dependency block. Okay, we have to copy this, and this is also available. This instruction is also available here. Okay, dependency, this one only. Okay, we have to copy this. Okay, and we have to place inside this, inside this Gradle. At the end we can copy paste. Okay, so these are the three configuration. Okay, so once you do this, we can save. Okay, click file, save. Okay, now we can close this Gradle.kts. Okay, so once you do this, now we can go to this next option, click next, and you are ready, and we can click this continue to the application. Okay, so now application is connected. Our Flutter project as well as the Firebase project is connected, and it is configured also. Now we can create the database. To create database, in the left side you can see build option is there. Inside build option there is a database called Firestore Database. You have to click open this Firestore database. Now we have to create the database. So there is an option called create database. Just click create database. So we have to select the standard edition, click next, and this is default one, and no need to change, and click next. And so for testing we have to select this test mode. Okay, so we have to go, it's not production mode, we have to go for test mode, create. Okay, so now the cloud Firestore database will be created. So once the database is created here, so you can see there is an option called start collection. So collection is nothing but like a table, similar to table in SQL database. So this Google Firestore database is a NoSQL database. So here the data will be stored like similar to MongoDB database, right? As a collection, the collection contains documents. The document is similar to the JSON format, okay, JSON documents, okay. So we have to click this start collection and we can create one collection name, for example employees. So I want to create employees data, right? So click next. Now we can store some employee details. For example, just I will store one data. So the ID is actually unique for every document that you are storing in this particular collection, okay. So the recommended is you have to auto generate this ID. Now I'm going to store the name of the employee. The data type is string. The value is actually, for example, John David, and I'm going to add another field. So here the another field is employee ID. The employee ID type is number, for example 678, okay. The next one more field I'm going to take is salary detail, okay. Salary is another field, and that is also number. I'm going to store the salary as 50,000, okay. So now once it is done, we can store this particular document, okay. So now here you can see there we have a employees collection, and inside employee collection we have stored one document. That document contains details about a particular employee John David with the employee ID 678 and salary is 50, okay. So like this we can manually add so many documents. You have to click and you have to keep on, but don't forget you have to auto generate this ID, okay. That is I recommended, and just now we can cancel it. So now our aim is to store data from Flutter application here, okay. So the data in this format we are going to store from the Flutter application. So let's go back to the Flutter project, and in Flutter project we are going to design the interface like this, with the text box and buttons, and we are going to write the logic for storing the data, okay. So let's go back, just close this Android folder and go to the library folder, open this main.dart, and here we have to delete this default coding. So now we have to include certain libraries for using this Firebase database. So first we are going to use this one, okay. So we are going to copy this package called, we are going to use package that is actually Firebase core, okay. We are going to use Firebase core underscore. I forgot one thing is, if you want to use this particular package, okay, if I want to use this package should be included in the YAML file, okay. Pub spec YAML file. This file is important. Inside this file we have to include that whatever library we are going to import, we have to first we have to download, okay. So for that we have copy, just you have to copy paste and save it, okay. So when you save, it will download these two libraries, okay. So after downloading these two libraries only, we can able to include this core libraries using import statement, okay. So first one is Firebase underscore core slash, and there is a file called Firebase underscore core dot dart. Similarly we have to import another package, and next we are going to use cloud firestore slash cloud firestore dot dart. So these are the two libraries we have to include for storing the data in Google Firestore database, okay. So the next is next we are going to come to this main function. In the main function, since we are using a Google backend services, always we have to use a asynchronous communication, asynchronous request. So the main app should be async, you have to make it as async. And next we have to there are two things we have to do is, one is widgets Flutter binding we have to enable. So for that we have to use widget Flutter binding should be ensure initialize. We have to initialize this binding, and after that we have to initialize the Firebase project, okay. We have to initialize the Firebase application in the Google. In Google we have to initialize it, okay, right. So we have to use await. So there is a one keyword called await, and you have to use Firebase dot initialize app. there is a function called initialize app. Okay, so these two things we have to do before showing the UI before running the UI design. Okay, so the UI design we are going to create here. Okay, so using the material app we are going to create the UI design title, and followed by we are going to use title is employee application, and followed by we are going to create a home screen. Home screen is the employee screen, right? So we are going to create an employee screen. Okay, employee management screen. Okay, so this should be a stateful widget. Okay, it should be a stateful widget. We have to create a stateful widget. We have to create, right? So now we are going to design the interface. So before designing interface, first we have to open the emulator. The Android emulator is required, right? So we have to open Android Studio and open emulator. Okay, so that we can see the output, the UI design. And in Android Studio there is a 3 dot section is there. Here these are action buttons, actions. Here we have to open virtual device manager. Select any one virtual device. I am going to select this this one, and we are going to start this AVD, and you'll be getting a mobile device like this. Okay, right? So just open like this and keep it in the right side. We can close this Android Studio, right? So just for checking this output we are going to use this. Okay, so let's keep this output in the right side, and we can see this design. Okay, so this employee screen we are going to create as a stateful widget. So we can use select stateful widget, and wherever my widget comes we have to copy paste this employee screen class. Okay, so just we are going to copy paste wherever it comes. Right, so now this employee screen is actually connected with this main run app function. Okay, so as soon as this app is running, so this particular employee screen will be coming to the screen. Okay, so now in this employee screen we want to collect the employee details, name, employee ID and salary, right? So we have to design an interface like this. Okay, so this will be done by using this return. Here there is a build function is there, right? So in build function should design that. Okay, so how will you design is you have to use that scaffold. Okay, there is a you have to start with the scaffold. Okay, scaffold semicolon. Okay, and inside we have to first we need to create app bar. We have to configure the app bar with the title, and title should be in a text widget, right? So you have to use this student employee application. Okay, so we can give the title, and followed by we can give the background color also. We can set background colors dot, we can select any one color. So this is a app bar will be getting, and followed by we can create body of this scaffold. Okay, so in the body of the scaffold we are going to use a container. We are going to use container. Inside container we are going to set the padding using edge insects. We can give a padding as 20 pixel. Okay, and followed by child. So in this child we are going to create a form. Okay, so inside this child only we are going to create the form, and we are going to display the text boxes. Okay, so for creating this form, first we need a before creating this form, first we can create a column layout. Inside column layout we can create this this entire form. Okay, so let us try this column. So inside this column there is a attribute called children, right? So inside children we are going to keep one scrollable form, right? Scrollable form. So for that we have to use single child scroll view. Okay, so this is one component we are going to include, and inside this single child scroll view we can create the form. Okay, so form we have to create, and inside this form we have to configure certain state variables. Okay, so let us see how to create certain state variables. So first thing is we are going to create a state variable called form key. Okay, so you have to generate a form key. So go to the state. So state variables. So first one is we need the form. Okay, form key we need to create. Form key is equal to, so global key, and this global key should be a form state, right? So we have to use final keyword. Okay, so this is actually already we practiced this form key. Okay, similarly we are going to create 3 text boxes. So we need the 3 state variables like name controller, employee ID controller, and salary controller. So let us go back here and we can take those particular lines. We can just copy this, right? So here we are creating 3 controller for reading the data from the text box. Okay, so first one is name controller, text editing controller, and employee ID controller, salary controller. Okay, so these are the 3 controller. Okay, so now let's begin by creating a text fields. Okay, so text fields already we practiced so many times how to create text fields. So let's try this. We can copy paste that particular code. Inside form, first thing is we have to set that key. Okay, we have to set the key as form key, and followed by children we are going to add a new column. Okay, we are going to create a new column, and inside new column we have a children. We need a children. Okay, so actually this scrollability purpose only we are using single child scroll view, then form, then again another one more column we are going to use. Okay, so inside this column we are going to use the text form field. Okay, so this is a first we'll use this text form field, right? So here first thing is the controller, name controller we have to attach, and followed by this decoration. Okay, so already we practiced this, you can follow that. Okay, and validator is used to check whether it is empty or not. So here I have used ternary operator to validate. Okay, so instead of if condition we can also use this way also. Okay, this is a very simple way to validate. So how it is working is value is, if it is equal to null or value is empty, this will be written. Okay, please enter your name, error will be written, otherwise null, there is no error. Okay, so like this. Okay, so this text form field already we practice. After this we can create one sized box with the 10 height is 10. Okay, so then we can put comma, and similarly we can copy this remaining 2 more text boxes. So hope you can understand. This already we practice. Right, so if it is not formatted, just you have to just format this. Okay, so now we have text boxes. Okay, next we are going to keep one button. Okay, so button, elevated button is actually already we practice. So this elevated button I am going to copy. So in elevated button we can customize a style, and on press is a event handling. When you press, what you want to perform. Okay, so here what I am going to do is I am going to create a function called add employee. One function I am going to create. Okay, so this function we are supposed to create. Okay, So this function where we can create this, so in the below the state variables we can create this function should return a future object void, and the function name is add employee. Okay, so this function you have to create like this. Okay, and it should be async. Okay, so since we are using backend function, every backend function, calling backend function, we have to use async. Okay, and inside we have to use this form validation. Okay, so form validation you can use form key dot validate current state dot current state. If it is not null, we have to validate. Current state is not null, we have to validate this. Okay, so let's, so far we have created this text box, and this is a function. Okay, it's a function. Okay, so future void add employee asynchronous function. Okay, since we are using database operations like storing data, so we need a asynchronous communication, like it should not, the UI should not hang due to this backend storing data. Okay, so we have to use, make it as asynchronous request. Okay, right, so now we have designed the interface. So let us see the output by executing this project. So parallelly we can see the output also. So let's go back, and if there is any mistake we can include that. Yeah, semicolon is missing here. Right, now it's save the project, go to run without debugging. Right, so now we got the UI design in the screen. Right, so we'll check this. Validation is also working. Okay, when you click, the validation also working. So this function is also perfectly called. Okay, this add employee function is also called. Here we are validating also. Okay, so now the thing is we have to store the data, right? So in order to store the data, we have to create instance, database instance we have to create. Okay, instance we need to create as another variable. So first thing is there are two instances we need. For one thing is for storing, another one instance is for reading the data. Okay, so the first instance is to store data, save data. We need an instance like this, Firebase Firestore instance we need to create. Okay, Firebase Firestore instance. Okay, so let us call it as Firestore equal to, so how will you use the same class name we have to use, and dot instance. So okay, just you have to call instance. So this is for storing the data. Similarly for reading data. Okay, fetching data. Okay, so the correct word is fetching data. We need the collection reference. Okay, we need collection reference. The collection reference it can be like this, employees. Okay, the collection. Okay, employees collection we have to access. Okay, so how will you access? By using this Firebase Firestore class dot instance. That use instance dot there is a function called collection. Okay, and inside collection we have to give the, just I'll keep like this. Inside we have to give the name of the collection. Okay, so the in Firestore the name of the collection is employees, right? So we have to use the name of the collection is employees, right? So now this will create employees collection. So from this employees collection we can able to access all the employees, and this instance, this is a generic instance for storing. Okay, for storing the data. Okay, so now let us see how to store the data. So for that when you click this on pressed, it will call this function, right? So it will call this function. So here we have to write the logic for storing the database. Okay, it's very simple. Since it is a asynchronous request, we have to call by using a wait thread. So for that waiting thread we have to use await function. Okay, so we can use this this particular reference, or we can also use this reference. So let us try this. if it is working, we can remove that. Okay, so let's try this. We can directly insert, but this is a more generic one. Okay, so instead of that, we can also use collection reference so that we can do all these operations. So let us try using employees dot save. Okay, employees dot add. So how will you add this? We have to use as a JSON format. We have to pass. Okay, so JSON format is like curly brace. Inside we have to pass every data using a key value pair. Okay, so the first data you can take by using name controller dot txt. Second data supposed to be an integer, so we have to use we need a conversion like this, int dot parse and underscore embid dot txt and comma. The next data is salary, that is also we have to convert as int dot parse salary controller dot txt. Okay, so now the data will be saved. Okay, so by using this particular one function, we can store the data in Google Firestore. After storing data, we can clear all these this name controller and all we can clear. Okay, so just we can, it is optional. If you want to clear, you can use clear function. Okay, similarly we can do it for underscore employee id dot clear semicolon. Similarly underscore salary dot clear. Right, so after clearing the text box, okay, so these functions are actually used to clear the text boxes. Okay, so now we can give some acknowledgement, right? So for that acknowledgement, we can create one text box here. Okay, so we can create one text box, for example using text widget, and the text widget we can have this status. So one variable we can create status, and the status variable we can use style also we can change using text style. Color we can use colors dot green or blue color we can use. Okay, this status is a variable which should be updated. So this variable we have to create here. So it's a string variable. So we can create a string status. Initially it is empty. Okay, so now after storing the data, we can update this UI by using this set state, and here we can update this data saved successfully. Right, so now we are getting this we are getting the input, and we are storing by using this collection employees reference. Okay, so this is actually enough. I think this will be working. Okay, fine. Okay, right, so now we'll save it, and once you save, we can come back, and so there is another here we can able to refresh this application. Just you have to click this, so it will refresh this application. Now we can give some data. So for example, we'll give first data I'm going to give is Victor, employee ID is 890, salary is 40,000, and click save. So now we are getting the response data saved successfully. Now we have to go to that Firebase. Here you can see one more record is added. Okay, one more record is added, and when you click this, you can see 890 and Victor 40,000. Okay, the same way we can keep on add other data. For example, another data Bright, and employee ID is 781 and salary is 60,000. Saved. Okay, now the data is saved, and here immediately it is reflecting in the Google Firestore. Okay, so it is a real-time data store. When you when you click save button, immediately one entries will be created here. Okay, so similarly we can keep on store the data, right? For example, Joel and 891 and salary is 78,000. Okay, and click this, one more entry is made, and when you open this, and you can see this one. Okay, and here you can see 891 Joel. Okay, so now we have 4 records we have stored successfully. Okay, so now let us see how to display it. Okay, we are going to display this data here. So here what I am going to do is, the remaining space I am going to create another list view, and inside the list view we are going to display that. Okay, so for that what we can do is, so now it is storing successfully, right? So we can this particular separate instance is not required. Okay, so it is actually this particular one instance is enough. Okay, so collection reference is a common reference we can create by using Firebase Firestore class .instance .collection. The collection we can directly access, and using that collection we can add a new document we can insert by using add function. Okay, so now by using the same employees collection reference, we can also retrieve all the records. We can get all the records. So let's see how to do that. So for that we are going to create an interface called list view. Okay, so for that that interface we are going to keep it here. Right, so now this column is over, right? So this particular array is over, this particular column is completed. Okay, but we have another column, the rootmost column is the right. So just click here and you can see where it is closing. Okay, so here it is closing, right? So now put comma over here, and we can give one sized box we can give height and 10. Okay, so now comma, here we are going to use expanded. So their expanded widget we are going to use. Expanded widgets used for utilizing the remaining space. Okay, so inside we can create a child. Inside child we are going to create a dynamic list view. So dynamic list view we can create from Google Firestore database by using a streaming. Okay, so here we have to use a stream builder. Okay, there is one class called stream builder for retrieving all the records. Okay, stream builder, and this stream builder should have a data type called query snapshot. Okay, the type is query snapshot is the stream builder type. Okay, snapshot is nothing but the collection of data is called snapshot. Okay, the collection of data. Okay, so here we have 2 parameters. So first parameter is stream, and next one is a builder. Okay, so in the stream we have to pass the stream object. Okay, the stream object you can get by using this collection reference. Okay, collection reference is we created here, right? Employees. Okay, so from this collection reference we have to take this stream. So employees dot, there is a function called snapshots. So snapshots will give all the collection of records from the Google Firestore. Okay, now we are going to build. Okay, so build this. So for not to build this, we are going to create one asynchronous function. So how to do that is context object we need to create, comma. So in this context object, comma, snapshot, we are going to take snapshot and open bracket close bracket. Okay, so now inside this builder, so we have to we have to take every snapshot, every record we have to take and check. We have to do some condition checking. Okay, if snapshot has any error, if there is any error, we have to report some error, right? So for that we can return a new child using a sender widget. We can create one new text widget. So inside text widget we can say that it is error. So there is a error, and what is the error is we can print the error also. So for that we have to use dollar, so not and symbol, dollar symbol, and take this error by using this error variable. Okay, right. So this is for just for checking whether it is error or not. Okay, so here one more thing is child is missing. Okay, that's why it's coming error. Okay, so right, so let's keep this full screen and we can see this code. Okay, right. So if there is a snapshot, means like, see, snapshot is nothing but like collection of records, and we are taking every snapshot and we are checking whether it is any error or not. If there is error, we are going to display it, and we are going to also check in the snapshot if really it has data or not. Okay, for that we have to use if condition and snapshot. Okay, if it is having a has data. Okay, if it is not having data, we have to handle by using loading. Suppose data is actually not at all, not still loading. Okay, stage. So we can show one circular animation. Okay, circular animation we can show. So that's called circular progress indicator. Okay, so if the data is still loading, this particular circular progress indicator will be shown in the UI. Okay, so that is actually will give the some hint to the user. Okay, so the data is being loaded. Okay, the next is we are going to load the records. Okay, so for that we have to use snapshot dot data. If it is not null, dot docs. So there is a parameter called docs. Using docs we can take all the documents. Okay, we have to check records is empty. If it is empty, again we have to return with one message by using this center widget. So center widget is used to place the error message in the center of the screen. So like alignments. Okay, just the alignment. So we can say so we can here we can show one error message, no employees found, if the database is empty. Okay, so now if it is not empty, we can return, finally we can return a list view. Okay, we can return a list view, and where we can display all these records. Okay, list view builder. So we have to use a list view builder. In the list view builder, first we need to give the length of the items. Okay, so item count is important. So how will you take records dot length, and in the item builder we have to manage by using a list tile. Okay, so for that we have to use a context index is needed. So every record we have to access and we have to return as a list tile. Okay, right. So now we are going to return a list tile. So list tile. In the list tile we are going to display title. The title will be like the employee name. Okay, the employee name. So for that there is one more thing we have to use is before returning this list tile. Okay, before returning list tile, so we have to access the employee, one particular employee. Okay, equal to how will you access records of the index. When you pass this index, we will be getting the employee record. So in this employee, from this employee we can access the name by using this name parameter. We can access and we can display. Similarly, subtitle we can display the remaining data like the ID and all. Okay, so employee ID we can display by using employee ID colon, and inside dollar we have to use the employee square bracket employee ID, and followed by comma we can display this salary details, salary double quotes. Okay, we have to use so we can use this to string. Okay, to display as a string format. Okay, right. So now followed by we have to display the salary. So for that dollar, one more curly brace, employee dot employee square bracket salary, we have to convert as a string format. Okay, right. So now salary is y. Okay, right. So this is actually the flow, right? So now when I save it, look at this, the data which we have stored already is actually coming and it is displayed here. Okay, so we are getting a Bright and Joel and Victor. Okay, so there are how many data is there, right? So we can refresh and we can see, yeah, so we have this many datas. Okay, and look at this, there are 4 records. Okay, and all the 4 records available here. Okay, you can able to see here. Okay, so this is actually by instance it will be when you reload the app it will be coming. Okay, so just I didn't refresh. Okay, just you have to save it. Okay, when you save this file, immediately you can see the output like this. Okay, it's coming, right? So now we can add this data. Okay, and we can add a new data. For example, I want to add Suresh. Okay, as a one data, employee ID is actually 2345. now the salary also I'll give, and then you click save details. Look at this, Suresh is added in the in Google Firestore database. Then from that it is reflecting in the UI. Okay, so when you add some data in the particular database, immediately there and the Android app also getting reflected. Okay, so here we can also check here, see one more data is added, not this one, right? So look at this, 2345 Suresh is just now we have added, right? So that is already that is also stored. Okay, so this is about how to store and retrieve data in Google Firestore cloud-based database from Flutter application.